Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by lineups.com. Nate and Josh here with you guys on Monday night in the NBA. Going to be looking at 9 games. We've got player props in this episode. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel because we have another episode up with best bets, looking at some sides there and some totals for you guys. And we'll be bringing those to you each and every weekday this season. Nate, let's go ahead, get right into your first guy here. I don't know, maybe most improved player. Maybe we should have had, like, Ryan Rollins is on one, man. And if he is this good, great. He's shooting a little bit hot, but he is getting the volume.
Look, if the award was like breakout star, like
Just everything.
Ryan Rollins, absolutely. I don't know what the MIP is, but the point is, like, Ryan MF Rollins, if you don't know, you better ask somebody. Like, this kid is good. We were talking about like potential positive negative regression last week as far as his shooting, and no, that's not really coming. Like, he is on one, like you said, he's playing for his starting role. That's why he continues to be so motivated. I mean, he's a guy who obviously had the motivation to burn your Warriors after he couldn't crack their rotation. He's a guy with a big chip on his shoulder, but he wants to remain the starter going forward, right? And KPJ is coming back soon, and he's forcing Doc's hand. I mean, last 3, 142 offensive rating. He is a plus 19 in these 3. He's played so well that Cole Anthony only got 13 minutes behind him, and Rollins, at 36. Once again, he's second to Giannis in drives. I think he is more efficient on pull-ups than anyone on the team in this point. And now he's facing a Pacers team that allows the most points per game to point guards this year, because they are down to 5th stringer Quentin Jackson, who, probably
Ray J. Dennis is questionable. Yeah, Quentin Jackson might be starting.
Yeah. I mean, Quentin Jackson, he's going to get the minutes too in the stats probably.
Yeah.
So watch for his props. But Pacers have to play this guy to run their offense, which means not as much Ben Shepherd, which means obviously no Nembhard, which means no like point of attack defense really. They've also been dominated by Giannis every which way for the last few seasons. So they're going to be sending help, and it's going to be on the secondary playmaker, Ryan Rollins, to make plays. They've also been solid against spot ups this year, have the Pacers. So falls on Rollins more than Gary Trent, AJ Green to get buckets. So, I mean, the points and assists are good here. They're really juiced, the assists are, to the point you got to take like 20, 21. I think I might rather ladder up the points to like plus 145 on 18, maybe a sprinkle on 20 again. He's draining threes. He's shooting 50% on pull-ups, and you can get to the rim, and the Pacers just don't have much for you defensively right now.
Yeah, you hit all the right notes, man. And I mean, there's still a possibility KPJ comes back, AJ Green or Gary Trent go to the bench, something like that, right? Like, I just don't know how you take this guy out of your starting lineup. I don't know what the point is. If you want to bring him off the bench, fine, then you still have to play him 32 minutes. He is the second most important player on this team coming out of nowhere. And that's not just because he's shooting an absurd percentage, right? He's at I know he's at 50, 40, 80 something, on his splits right now. It's also the like assists and the rebounds. He does everything that you need. He's like if Chris Middleton was still on the team and a little bit shorter, but way more athletic and explosive and could like beat guys all the way to the rim instead of having to pull up. Like, yeah, he's got it right now, man. He's also a defensive pest all over the place. So like, he is like a freaking like safety coming in, and he's Ed Reed again in that sense. He's just all over the field. You don't know where he is. He's going to blow things up for you on both sides of the court. Absolutely love Ryan Rollins because of the way that he plays. And then now he's efficient on top of it. He is the second most important player on that team. Cam Johnson is not the second most important player on this team. I like Cam Johnson a lot. I think he is an upgrade over Michael Porter Jr. I know he is, because especially on the defensive side of the ball, he is an upgrade there. And then everywhere else, it's like he's just not a nuisance on offense, and everything's just going to keep running smoothly. But that's because he's willing to make the extra pass, and he's not even shooting very much, right? He doesn't even have double-digit attempts per game so far this season. I think he's hit double-digit attempts once in terms of the attempts that he's taking. So like, the points are still higher than anything that he's hit at, like 11.5. You're getting a bit of a bump for Denver in the matchup here, if you consider that, but like, they're still going to be playing relatively slowly in this one, I would imagine, as well. And while that does help Cam out, it's like the Kings are actually not as bad on defense as you might expect, especially where Cam wants to score from. They're actually really good above the break, limiting 3-point attempts, and they are in the top 15 in terms of paint points. And Cam is scoring 25% of his points from the paint, and then like 40% from above the break stuff and getting down into the baseline area at times. But like, there's no like real advantage for Cam in this one. And it's just the usage, right? Even the potential, the assists are somehow at like 1 or 2.5, even though the under is juiced to like minus 180. It's like, in what world Cam Johnson's not getting 3 potential assists? How is he getting 3 assists in this game? So there's a little bit of fishiness, but like 18.5 is a drop down from last game when it was 19.5, and he didn't come close to it then either. So I think just the 1 point dip is still enough for us to be able to go under pretty comfortably.
Yeah, I mean, personality wise, he's the opposite of Michael Porter Jr. Right? He's not like, hey, I need some shots. Like he's just trying to like ease into the season, fit in as the 5th starter. I mean, that's probably how he sees himself. Is like, I'm like the 5th option here in the starting lineup. So I mean, it's also an interesting spot here. Nuggets minus 12.5 because the Kings are at the end of a 4-game trip. They then go home for a 5-game homestand. But yeah, I mean, on the other side of this one, I do like Russ. I mean, if it's revenge night, and I don't really see this as revenge. You see, he's still wearing the Nuggets uniform in the thumbnail here. I don't see it as revenge. I see it more as like you should show up at the same party as your ex, and you want to show like bring somebody, right? And so I'm like, I can still get mine without you, Yoke. I got Sabonis. I got Kirkland brand Yoke. I mean. And the key is here, I mean, Schroeder and or Levine might not play and Malik Monk is out. So whether or not Doug Christie is infatuated with Westbrook, which he seems to be with his rotations, seems like he's going to get the burn here, even if this does get a little bit out of hand. The last tough spot for the Kings when they were on a back-to-back in OKC, Westbrook got 30 minutes. He got 16 and 9. So I think the points and rebounds are good here rather than adding 5 assists. I just think it's the hustle stats, it's the drives, it's the free throw rate that he's doing these things that nobody else on the Kings is doing. And he's also apparently fine. I mean, Christie is fine with him shooting threes. He shot 23 threes in his last 4 as teams just continue to dare him. He's minus 140 to hit at least 2 against Denver, who's probably going to dare him. Denver also they'll let guards drive to the bucket and just be like, yep, we're going to take that out of there. And we're definitely going to score on you on the other end. 8+ drive points to Fears, to JDM, Sharp, Avdia in their last few here. They're 20th in opponent's free throw rate. And I mean, while the Westbrook revenge history is long, his last 5 against the Lakers, 1.7 points per minute. That was more of like a revenge, like, oh, you wouldn't put me in your lineup. But yeah, like I'm saying, this one is just kind of like he wants to let him know that he's still doing good.
Yeah, but you're right. It's not like Denver angry Russ. It's like, I want to show out in front of my boys, right? It's just like you're playing in a pickup game with like a whole bunch of your people watching, and you just want to show out. And I think he still has a lot of love for those guys. I know he loves Jokic and like respects him as for what he can do. So yeah, there's nothing but like respect, but there's still a desire to like outperform the people that you respect. And I think Russ is absolutely in that spot, combined with the injuries for Sack, combined with Doug Christie's love for old man Russ, who is playing like a team player still. Like there's, awesome clips of him like taking fouls for Sabonis, so Sabonis doesn't get into foul trouble, things like that. Like he's playing like an old head, but he's going to come with it. Yeah, I'd be down to even take like a little 15, maybe 7 boards, 8 boards, and like 4 or 5 assists for Russ and play a little parlay for him in this one. But let me go to a young buck here. Trey Johnson, 10.5 points. He has been off the last 3 games, brutal percentages. Everything is still there volume wise. He's still getting 25 plus minutes every game. Blowout, no blowout, doesn't matter. Brian Keefe, I don't love what you're doing with the rotation, but I do respect that at the very least you're giving one of the 2 most key pieces, most important key pieces of your team moving forward after the contracts of McCollum and the Middletons are gone, and now it's Trey Johnson, Alex Sarr, and Keyshawn George's team rather, right? Not Keyshawn Johnson. That is who is going to be running this team. So Trey Johnson's getting the minutes. He's not getting closing minutes unless they get blown out. We got a 12.5 point spread here with the Knicks, who won by 19 or more points against this team in 3 of the 4 they played last year, blowing them out consistently. I think that'll probably be the case again. Look, they're on the back-to-back. They handled business in Chicago, even though Chicago started coming back. But that was a sort of good spot to take the Knicks after losing to Chicago on a back-to-back against the same squad kind of situation. Now they're playing once again on the East Coast. I think they'll be all right enough to like handle things. But again, We don't need the blowout to get Trey 25, 26 minutes. We just need him to shoot better than 33% from the field. And I'm going to start taking the positive regression stuff for him, because now that he's bottomed back out, he opened the season at about 10.5 points. Now he got up to like 14.5 at one point with his props, because he was hitting points a lot. Now he's back down to like 10.5. This is another good spot to buy low until he gets back up too high, because we know he's playing 25 to 26 minutes, and we know he's taking anywhere from like 7 to 10 shots and like 3 to 6 threes. So I do feel good about him, and even as high as 15 shots, right? So I do feel good about that volume staying consistent for him. And even if this doesn't hit, I'm going to keep playing it at this number so that we get the value.
Yeah, we know those veterans, Chris Middleton and CJ McCollum, are eventually going to start to get like put on ice, right? Middleton's at 20 minutes of the last 2 games. He's questionable with an elbow. So like that's the key here, is like them just kind of giving way to Bub and Trey and letting those guys go to work, whether it's a blowout or whether that's just what the direction is from above Brian Keefe's head, right? Is just like, all right, time to play the young guys a little bit more. I mean, give them 27 plus minutes, which is, what they've gotten in any case in these last 2 big losses.
Yeah, just weird that you bring in a guy like Brian Keefe to coach Washington when he's got the whole like Tibbs, rah, rah, get my veterans out there. I don't trust this kid to play. Like, you don't have to trust him right now, man. He's going to be getting better. That's the whole point of this, but he'll get there. We'll all get there. But that is all the time we have for you in player props. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you can check out the best bets episode that we have up alongside this one. Until we see you next, happy betting.